Hello, everybody. How's it going? News stuff. It says, where are Wade Robinson and James Safechuck? I almost said Cuck. Now, Michael Jackson's estate says workers had no affirmative duty to prevent abuse. Yeah, man. Watched that documentary. I was dating this girl at the time, and she was like, "Oh, you got to see this. It's so sad." Watched it. That shit was depressing as hell, man. Intentionally so. At first, I was like, okay, all right, maybe it's a little bit believable. I didn't believe this guy, Ray Robinson. He's very shaky. He was acting up a little bit too much, very dramatized. It was just like he was keeping a lot of shit vague, and he was crying most of the time, and most of his story was being told by his family, and they just heard it from him. And they were there during all this situation, and none of them witnessed any of this, but like they're telling the story that he told them. I was just like, it didn't make any sense. That Safechuck, James Safechuck, I was like, I kind of believed him because he was very feminine. It was just like, yeah, I can believe that guy got had his sphincter working to the bone, trying to get some pop star in him. But then there was like a part of it where he looked like he was crying, and he was talking about some sort of jewelry or something. And then it looked like it was edited, and it was like a completely different day, and he was like wearing a different shirt, and I was just like, okay, there's a lot of acting going on there. Even now, he's holding that same sad face, and this guy, it was just like he's just, his mind is in somewhere else. You just tell they're lying, man. That was just despicable what they did to Michael. That was just messed up, man. It's like all these years, all these other people attacking him and saying all this stuff about him, and then you guys who defended him previously came out of nowhere, and you're like, well, I'm broke now, and my career didn't go the way I wanted to. And Michael was dealing with his own problems, so he wasn't paying attention to me. So that's justification to go and try to fucking rob him and destroy his reputation. It was just nonsense. Los Angeles, California. A lawyer for Michael Jackson's estate asserted in court that employees at businesses owned by the pop artist had no obligation to protect children from the late pop's king of pop. I don't understand what obligation would they have, unless they're witnessing a crime. How would they? Would they, like, he hired them to be on his estate, and they stopped him from approaching children? That'd be weird as shit. Jonathan Steinsaper, Sapir. They gotta do something about this. Was it like two different Jewish names, or I don't understand. The attorney resisted a potential ruling by the Second District Court of Appeal in California, which indicated that it was inclined to reinstate previously dismissed claims from two men who claim Jackson, did stuff to for years. For years. Yeah. For years. No point, even when all the other accusations were going on, did they think, oh, that happened to me too, I probably should jump on? Nope, they defended him in court. Said he never did anything like that. How was it happening to you, but it wasn't happening to them? Oh, it was happening to you now that you're broke. According to Saper, the court's rationale would require low-level employees to confront their supervisor and call them pedophiles. Yeah, it would. That'd be weird. That'd be weird, man. like he's creating a park or whatever area for kids, and then he comes over. I mean, he's a star. The kids are probably excited to see him, and then what? His employees are just like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. We heard what you did. Don't get anywhere near these kids. By the way, don't forget to pay me the first of the month. Like that'd be weird as hell. Holly Boyer, an attorney representing plaintiffs Wade Robinson and James Safechuck, however, asserted that workers should bear that accountability. Now they want to sue the workers. They're trying to get as much money as they can with their broke ass. Safechuck sued in 2014 after Robinson had sued in 2013. Wow. So Robinson, obviously the first one to sue because his freaking dance teaching career and dancing career didn't go anywhere. He was the first one to sue, and he probably contacted Safechuck, and he's like, you need to sue too, because if there's both of us suing, it seems less like a conspiracy. The two men gained additional notoriety after sharing their tales in 2019 HBO documentary Living Neverland, as reported by Associated Press. Where are Wade Robinson and James Safechuck now? One of the alleged victims featured in the contentious documentary Leaving Neverland, James Safechuck has changed careers and is now employed in the IT section. Okay. So you just got an office job, trying to hide his face. Safechuck has been working to rebuild his life and heal following his alleged encounters. Healing. No, he's healing after his alleged lies on that freaking Living Neverland series. Ever since his participation in the documentary. Yeah. He wasn't healing before, but now that he participated in the documentary, now he's just like, oh, all that alleged butt pain, it's really hitting me. In the 4-hour documentary, 4 hours. I didn't think that shit was 4 hours. I don't know, man. I was out of it while I was watching that. I was just like, oh my God, shit was depressing. Safechuck, who first encountered Jackson when they were both children. Him and Michael Jackson are the same age? What are you talking about? When they were both children while working on a Pepsi commercial, related his horrifying story. Okay, are you saying who was both children? Him and Wade Robinson was children? He has now found comfort and is concentrating on his current projects. Wasn't Michael Jackson like horribly injured during that Pepsi commercial? I don't think he had time to be looking at little boys, sphincters. The Independent claims that Safechuck currently works in the tech industry, despite the fact that his job's specifics are kept a secret. The survivor's involvement in this profession signals a new beginning. Signals that he has no goddamn skills, marketable skills, and he decided to start a whole new career because being a backup dancer and boy, he was a part of a failed band and lacking testosterone doesn't sell well to employers. The Australian choreographer Wade Robinson, who initially accused the late music icon of abuse, has subsequently gone on with his life, waiting for that check to come in, putting his career and personal growth first. Yeah, he should have done that in the first place. While he waits for his future trial against Jackson's organization, MJJ Productions. What is the second J for? Robson, keeps trying to say Robinson, but it's Robson because he's trying to rob son, who is now 40 years old, is now teaching dance and choreography. He was doing that before. The boys were left alone in this lion's den by the defendant's employees. Lawyers, we do require that employees of the entity take those steps because what we are talking about is Boyer Yeah, boy. Told the 3-judge panel via video conference. 3 judges, which is like freaking American Idol. What we are talking about here is 7 and 10-year-old children who are entirely ill-equipped to protect themselves from their mentor. Yes, but they went there with their parents. None of these kids were just like there. They didn't just come off a bus and just, you know what I mean? Like they went there with there was supervision. Like both of them said they were like with their parents. So like whatever. Left alone in the lion's den, blah, 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 blah. They were not losing to Michael Jackson's companies for protection. They're not looking for Michael Jackson. Okay. A judge who dismissed the lawsuits in 2021 and concluded that Jackson could not reasonably expect MJJ Productions Inc. and MJJ Ventures Inc., 2 organizations for which he was the sole shareholder and owner, to operate similarly to the Boy Scouts or church, where a child in their care could reasonably anticipate their protection. What? Boy Scouts, church. Children could reasonably anticipate protection. I'll feel safer with Michael Jackson, thank you. According to Stein-Saper, evidence in the untried cases demonstrated that the parents had no expectation of Jackson's staff serving as monitors. He claimed that a deposition from Robson's mother revealed that when she initially brought her 7-year-old son into the pop star's presence, she was completely unaware of the existence of the businesses. Yeah, why would she be researching his businesses? I don't understand. Your son just seemed like a fan of Michael Jackson. He was dancing to his videos, and you were filming it, and you were trying to make your son popular because you were broke, and what you're like, you were broke, and you're trying to get money off of your kid. I don't think his mom even had a job at that time. They were not looking to Michael Jackson's companies for protection. Blah blah blah. When did Michael Jackson get that dimple in his chin? Did he get surgery to put a dimple in his chin? That is weird, man. Hearing on focused the hearing focused solely on legal obligations of corporations. The claim made in the complaint and the court's potential ruling that the corporations had participated in careless hiring was ludicrous, according to Stein-Saper, given that the individual performing the hiring was the alleged offender. Any person that might be prone to criminal tendency has a duty not to hire himself. Okay. The hearing focused solely on legal. Listen, all this nonsense talk, it's not going to amount to anything, because you can't have a man start a corporation to help children. He wasn't making money off of these kids, and then say he can't be around the kids and have his own employees block him from being around the kids. That makes no sense whatsoever. Anyways, until next time.